Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel again, and today we're going to be creating a church flyer. This church flyer you're looking at, we're going to be creating this using Photoshop, and to create this we need some necessary pictures and PNGs to use for this flyer. So this is the necessary things we are going to be needing: a lens flare, a background, and a rainbow lens, and some PNGs for this. And also we're going to be needing these pictures. So this, if you need this, I'm going to be leaving it in the description on my YouTube channel, the video description. So let's get started with it. So we're going to create a new document, 1080 pixels, and the height will be 1350, resolution 300, and RGB color. This will be RGB. Then we create. So what we need first is the background. This is the background I used for this design. We'll be using this background for the design. There isn't really much to do. What you really need to focus on, and you really need to watch on how I achieved, is the shape, because this shape was done by me. It is not a shape I downloaded. I had to do the shape on my own. So you are going to watch on how I created the shape and everything. The rest are just adding items. So the shape are the main things. If you look closely, you'll see that the rectangle here is a sharp corner, while here is curved. Yes, I'll also show you guys how I created this using Photoshop, and we're good to go. So first we'll put our background. The next thing to do now is to draw our shape. The orange shape you see here, this orange shape, these two orange shape, and the red one. So let's head to that. So first we'll go to the rectangle tool, and we're going to change this to shape, not part. First we'll be using the black color, and we'll remove the stroke. We don't need any stroke for this. So first let's create our box. This is how we're going to create it. We're going to go to the move tool and press Ctrl T for the free transform, and we're going to right click and go to perspective. So we're just going to head over here, this edge, and reduce it a little. You can see. So we're just going to go back and see if that's how it is. You see, it's almost like this, but here is a slant line. It's a slant line, so it's not straight. So you have to also correct that. So we right click, you go to perspective, we are going to reduce this, and also come here to reduce this too. So we're going to be careful with this. So we'll reduce this like this, and we're good to go. If you click OK, this is how your shape is going to look like. So what we're just going to do is to Ctrl T, flip horizontal, and arrange it the way that one is. So we're just going to give it some arrangement here, and this is how I created the shape you are seeing in the design. So what we're just going to do is to duplicate it, which is Ctrl plus J. We are going to duplicate it because so we'll get an accurate measurement, because if you say you want to recreate this shape, you might not get the accurate measurement. So let's just duplicate the shape and make sure it's within the background, not touching the edge. We're just going to place it together like this, just like this. Just like this, guys. you can see this circle is the one covering how this shape actually looks like. So you can see how the edge looks like, and this looks a bit longer, so we're going to extend ours and reduce the top. So we're just going to reduce it a little bit and arrange it, give it some little arrangement again. And that is how we created the shape. So what we're going to do next now is to create our eclipse, our round shape. So we're just going to draw a round shape here, and we'll change the color to white for more positioning to arrange it very well. We're going to change it here, and also we're going to change the color, but not now. That will be later, after we've changed the color of the shapes. So this is how this shape was achieved. So we're just going to arrange it a little bit, make it up like this. We're going to move this up a little bit, and that is just perfect. So the second one is the second shape you see here. There's a red shape you see, so we're just going to create that to under this rectangle. So we're going to go back to the rectangle shape. We're going to create a small rectangle. Going to go to the move tool, Ctrl plus T, the same thing we did. We'll right click, go to the perspective, and we're just going to reduce this till it turns to a full long triangle, something like this. We're going to reduce this a little, and this is okay. So we're going to also flip this horizontal and move it here. We'll reduce it a little bit. Yes, this is good. And we're also going to Ctrl J for an accurate measurement. We're going to flip this vertical. No, not vertical. We're going to flip it horizontal to face the other way. We're also going to do the same thing, arrange it just like that. So the next thing to do is to change the color. I used a red color for this, so just change it to a red color, and also change this also to a red color. And what we're going to do next is to change this black color. You just go to the FX panel over here and go to gradient overlay. So it automatically changed to the color because that was the last gradient I used. But if you want to know how I achieved it, you can click on this color panel here, change this place to this color code. You can see the color code FACC22. That's the color code, and this orange, the color code is F83600. if you want to use the same color code as me. So that's the color code I use. And also make sure the opacity is at 100 and scale at this position, and you click OK. And you're also going to do the same for the second shape. So click on the shape, go to FX, gradient overlay. This is going to change to the color. Then now you click OK. So that's how we achieved this shape, even though it's not really the same size with this one I did, but at least you've gotten the idea of how I created this shape. So next we're going to do is to put our pictures. I won't be putting the pictures in the description for some reasons, but if you have your picture you can use, feel free to use these pictures. So I'm going to be putting my pictures, and if your pictures wants to be clear like this, you can use the camera raw filter, which is located in the filter panel. You can see it over here. That's the camera raw filter. If you want your pictures to be clear in Photoshop, you can use this filter. Just give it some editing and it is going to be very clear. So let's just take our pictures just to explain things to you, we're going to add our pictures. Make sure the pictures are at the back of each other, not at the front. So we're just going to move every picture to the back of each ministers. And the last one, make sure is at the back, not at the front. So that is that for this. And we're going to put the second rectangle, the second shape. We're going to input our pictures also. Make sure the pictures is also at the back of each minister. Same thing you did for the first place. Import all pictures you need for this flyer. Like I said earlier, you can use any picture of your choice. So this will not be given to you, but all tools I used is going to be in the description. All the tools I used, I'm going to be passing it out to you guys in the video description, so you can try it out. So if you notice again, this circle has a white stroke, black stroke in it. So we're just going to add that also. So we're just going to go to the circle tool. We're going to make this to be transparent, and we're going to increase this stroke a bit, maybe 0.81 is okay. Then we're going to draw it here, not too big, and we're going to move this to the front because it's at the back. So we're going to move it, Ctrl+T to arrange it to your desired position. So this is just perfect. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So the next thing we're going to do is to put our font. So if you want to know the font I used in this, I used the Merita serif. I'll be dropping the name in the description in case you want to download it. This is a very good font, so I'm going to use the black color for this font. So just increase it, and the topic was the battle. So this will be in capital letter. The first font will be in capital letter, and the rest can be in small letter. So this is how it looks like: the capital letter, then battle. Anyways, you can use any topic or any theme you would like for your church or for anybody you would like to design for, but this is just a sample of how the design is. So the battle of light. So we are going to replace our eye with a Thunderbolt's PNG picture. So we're going to just give some space, maybe 4 or 5 spaces, then you complete your sentence just like that, like this, something like this. You can see mine looks a bit small, but it's okay. So you can just put it like this. Use the same font to write your off here. So we'll just reduce it a bit here, and you can put it here. That is good. So the next thing we're going to do is to bring our PNG, which is this one. We're going to replace it with the letter I, which is missing in the light. So we're just going to put it here. And to add more to this PNG, you can add the light effect. You can make it more realistic by adding this light effect, but not make it too visible. Just add it a little bit. Then you're going to change the effect to screen. you can see it looks a bit surreal. So it's just like a picture to add reality to your design. So what we are going to do next is to add the round eclipse that is at the background. So what we'll do now is to go to the eclipse tool, which is going to give us a circle shape, and we're going to draw this big dome. So we're going to change it to a yellow color, to this color, and we're going to reduce the stroke to 0. So what we're going to do is to move this to the back, to where the background is just right on top of the background. You move it here, and this is how it's going to look like. So what you're going to do is to reduce the opacity and the fill so that it can be a bit visible. So this is how it's going to look like when you reduce the opacity. You can reduce it a little bit more if it's too visible. So this is how it's going to look like, just like this, as you can see here. So I'm just going to bring my logo and everything I used. Sorry, I have to off this. So I'm going to bring my logo here, and also the name that I used for this, just the same. And if you notice, there was a rainbow color I used here for this at the background. So I'm going to show you how I got that rainbow color there. So I'm just going to import the rainbow. This is the rainbow lens. So I'm going to reduce it a little bit and put it there. This is just like something to give your design life, to make it more captivating, to like make the audience see life in your design. So we're going to change the effect to screen, and if you notice, it's not too visible, so we're going to duplicate it, which is Ctrl J. And from my own point of view, it's a bit visible. You can increase it more or you can reduce it. That's just your choice. So what we're going to do next is to put our shape, to draw this shape you see here, this shape. So this is how I achieved that shape. You go to your rectangle tool. You're going to draw a full rectangle, or sorry, we're going to remove this. We're going to change this to a black color and reduce the stroke also to 0. So we're going to increase this particular place. We're going to increase it to maybe 50 or any amount that is good for you. This is just like the border radius to make the sharp edges have a curved line. So this is just like a border radius for the rectangle. So we're going to draw a second shape. This time we're going to put it to 0 to have a sharp end. So this is how it's going to look like. So what we are going to do now is to fit it in to this place, and you can see how it looks like. You can see. So we're just going to take it up a bit, let it fit in this shape. So the rest of the line that is showing here, we're just going to use the eraser tool and clean it and erase it a bit so that it's going to look more real. So as you can see, it looks real, like it does not show that you added two shapes. So the most important thing to do now is to hold the Control key and select the second rectangle, right click on it and change it to a smart object so that it can be one. You can see. So what we're going to do now is to reduce and duplicate this. So I just going to press Ctrl J, and it has been duplicated just like you see here. So this shape is the same thing with this little shape that is here. Sorry, with this little orange shape that is here, I just reduced the size and the length. So what we're going to do now is to put our write-up and change the color. So changing the color is the same thing. Go to your FX panel, go to gradient overlay and change it to this color, the same color used in the rectangle shape. And we're going to do the same for the second shape. We're just going to go and click OK. So if you notice again, there's a white line in this rectangle. So how I got this, that's a PNG file. You can do that manually, but I have the file, so I'm just going to export it here and add it to this rectangle. Just going to make it straight and maybe put it up a little bit here. You can increase it a bit, it looks a bit small, so we're going to increase it. And we're going to duplicate it and take it also to the next shape. And that is how I achieved that line you saw on my shape. So the next thing we're going to do is to combine all this into one object and align them. Oh, I forgot to add one more shape, which is this shape. So we're going to move it together to this place, just like that. And what we're going to do next is our write-up. So this font is called Stretch Pro. I'm going to also give the name of this font in the description if you want to use it. This is just like a font that has a long texture. It's very long, so it's good for giving details, for also the viewer to see the important details in the design. So this is a really good font for that. If you want to use this is a good font for that. So you're going to just put it here. So because it's very important for viewers to see the content of your design, so you have to use a bold font to enable them to see what the program or what the design is all about. So you have to use a bold font for this. So what we're going to do next is to duplicate this to bring this shape here, because it's the same shape but I just reduced the size and everything, so there's no need recreating it here. And I think the topic or the theme is a bit small, so I think we'll increase it a bit. Yes, just like this, and arrange it. Okay, I think it's okay now. Then you can put your file or anything you need here. So I'm just going to put the same thing I used for this, and that is it. And you can now add your hosts names and all the things used. So I'm just going to copy all of them to save time. I'm going to copy all to the next, to the design, recent design I'm doing, so that we can save time. So I'm just going to move it to this place. And I'm going to move all of them up to the front of the design. You can add any name of your choice, but I'm just going to do this to make work easier and to make it faster for you guys to see. So this is how it's going to look like, and of course you can put the name of the host right there, and that is just it. And also you can see the little bracket I have here, the little symbol I have at the end of the design is also needed. This also, you can just add it here to your design. It's the same shape, it's the same shape, just matter of resizing it. It's the same shape I used for everything, so you just have to resize it to your favored amount or to your favored size. So that is that. So now let me show you how I achieved the little icon at the edge. You just go to your tool. I'm using the Montserrat tool for this, the Montserrat font, sorry, and I'm going to just use the greater than and less than symbol for this. This is quite easy. Just make it long and also change it to the less than symbol. So that's just how I achieved this flyer. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give me a follow, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and let me know what you think about this in the comments. Bye.